Last time on You Dumb Bitch.
There's a kangaroo.
His name is
in
Ripperoo.
a fucking straitjacket.
His name is Ripperoo after Jack the Ripper.
Ripperoo is a blue anthropomorphic kangaroo and an
I'm done.
antagonist
I
of Crash
quit.
Bandicoot.
Goodbye. End of episode.
It's a
the end.
kangaroo.
The end.
Hi everyone, it's Nery today. I am by my lonesome. So last week, Lucy rage quit, as you all heard, and has not come back to Dumb Bitch HQ since then. We're trying to figure out what the podcast is going to change to since I haven't been able to get a hold of Lucy. So I'm going to try to carry this on this episode, and maybe there'll be a few changes in the future, and we'll see how we go.
I'm back, bitches. Yep. So, ignore him. Hi, it's me, Lucy-Furr, and with me is Nery, I
Hello.
guess. Yeah, that's
What do you mean,
right.
you guess. I guessed. I'm the one that was left alone.
Who'd have thought? I'm back, and look, it's too fun to walk away from. We have our moments, our little kerfuffles, but it's all good. But today, I've come with a discussion.
You've come with hatred in your
I have. I've come with hatred in my veins. I've come with a discussion, and I've come with a topic just to piss people off.
Okay.
But we'll get to that a bit later. How have you been?
Worried. Haven't heard from you in goodness knows how long.
Just ripped my clothes off, kicked the door in, and just ran into the wilderness. Come back a changed woman.
Yeah. I've been okay. How about you?
Melting in this fucking humidity. I want to be complaining about it being cold and wet again.
My humidities are all over the
The
place.
humidity of it all has been testing my patience. Last week I did Genesis, putting my makeup on. It wiped off just as quickly as it wiped on.
Yeah.
I cried twice doing my makeup. I walked out the back when we got that big electrical storm. Stood there with my face facing the sky, and I thought, if I got struck by lightning, that's fine. And if I didn't get struck by lightning, the rain helped do my makeup, so it was fine.
Okay. I'm with you. I kind of want to complain about the cold and wet again rather than the heat and the
Right?
humidity.
I think back to our first few episodes, and we're like, oh, it's so cold. Oh, it's so wet. Oh, boy. Oh, I wish we just shut our mouths.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, so other than that, I'm doing all right. I went to the movies last week and I watched Wicked. It's kind of taken over my whole life. That's right. I'm one of those gays.
I haven't heard. Look, we talked about it when the trailer dropped, and we were saying how, I think it was us, how Ariana Grande didn't look well and blah, blah, blah.
And I quote myself that if she doesn't do a good job, I'll throat punch her.
Yeah.
And look, I take that back. That was very savage of me. But also, she made me eat my words. She did great. Cynthia Erivo did great. Everyone in the lineup was amazing. In the end, the only negative things I saw online about it was someone whom now I've unfollowed and blocked on social media. Sometimes the trash just takes itself out. They're like, oh, I'm so sick of movies getting all woke. How dare they put someone in a wheelchair in it? Like, oh, we don't need to put like disabled people in everything. And I'm like, have you read the book or watched the musical? Like, my guy.
Dude.
My guy.
I haven't heard from people that actually,
But that was it.
Yeah.
I saw that and I blocked and unfollowed.
from people that actually know the story and watch the theater show and everything. I haven't heard a bad thing, which is surprising.
It was really good. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably a 12 for me. I
Damn.
thought as far as adaptions go, it was pretty clean.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it anyway. I've watched it twice and a half since.
How twice and a half?
Because I was watching it with someone else and they tapped out because they're like, musicals are so lame. I'm like, it's just getting good.
Then why did they watch it?
Yeah, it's fine. They're lame. I don't think they knew how musical it was, despite it being based off a musical.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a book, though.
Yeah. That's kind of how everything starts. But yeah, no, that's the only really big exciting thing that's happened in my life in the last
That's
week.
good.
Yeah.
It is exciting. I do want to watch it. I think I'm going to wait for it to leave the cinema though. I don't really go to the cinema anymore, which sucks. I used to go to the cinema once a week in high school. Tuesdays was like the cheap day.
I've been going to Husky Cinema.
Yeah,
because it's cheap tickets.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe. It's nice. It's small. Support small businesses. And it's fine. It's not as busy.
No, that's true. When COVID hit and a lot of places were closing down, I had a dream of they would close down and I'd buy it.
The Husky Cinema.
Yeah.
I love that.
I had a full plan, like put on like themed movie nights.
That'd be
like,
so fun.
Put like a Rocky Horror thing or like comic book night, come dressed up, like play old like 1980s. Yeah, 1980s Batman fun. And stuff. But yeah, that's a pipe dream.
And there's Celebrity Wall. They're all celebrities, like the headshots.
Yeah.
They're all celebrities that have watched a film there.
Really?
Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just headshots they bought off the internet.
No, I was curious. And I'm like, oh, so what's the story? It's like, oh, these are all people that have come and sit in the cinema.
Really?
That's fucking cute.
Damn, that's cool.
I don't know if it's true or not, but like,
fair, yeah.
Pop off, sis, I guess. Live your best life.
That's cool, though, if it is real. And even if it's not, the fact that he came up with that lie, good on him.
Yeah, gold star. All right. So before I bring up the topic of mass destruction, I have a little dumb bitch moment story from last week.
Okay.
So I went and stayed with a friend who was house sitting for another friend. And I was gonna.
So you stayed at the house they were house sitting in?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was also helping to house sit.
Okay.
Apparently, it took 2 people to house sit.
Was it a big house?
Not really. It's just a small apartment.
Animals?
3.
Okay.
2 felines and 1 canine.
Okay.
2 cats and 1 dog.
Yeah,
I don't know why I said it like that. Yeah.
You're a changed woman, remember?
I'm a changed woman. The bush changed me. So we had quite a bit of wine, and we're like, you know what would be freaking good is if we microwave some delicious desserts.
Okay.
No, pizza. It was pizza.
Okay.
I just need to get my facts straight. We were microwaving pizza. And she's like, oh, you push that button and that button, because we all know every microwave is different, whatever. And I push the buttons that is like 30, 30, 30 for a minute and a half and start. And nothing happened except a big glowing padlock popped up on the microwave.
Uh-oh.
I locked a microwave.
How?
Apparently it's something you can do.
Did you unlock it?
How do you unlock a microwave? I didn't know you could lock the microwave in the first place. So I'm like, what? So none of the buttons would work?
Yeah.
You couldn't, I'm like, what the fuck? Apparently it's the child safety feature. I'm like, if a child manages to punch in a time and climb in it, then
that child deserves what he
natural
gets.
selection happens.
That's crazy.
And I am a firm believer that you need to just take all the safety instructions off products at like Bunnings and stuff and sell them and let natural selection cull the population naturally.
Agreed.
And I say that knowing that I'm on that list of
I probably
high danger people. Although I've never read the instructions before. We're like, what the fuck? And we had so much wine. I just sat on the kitchen floor and just laughed about it. I'm like, well, who? You can't even make this stuff up. Who has a function where you can lock a microwave?
I've never heard
Parents,
of it.
That's who.
Yeah, that's true. But it would have to be a part of the like other microwaves. I don't think.
Do you want to hear how we solved the problem?
Yeah, please.
We pulled it out and we unplugged it. Turned it off and on again.
That's such an IT way of repairing it, but that's good.
It worked.
Yeah, it wasn't locked.
No, but now I'm worried I'll ever push the wrong combination.
But you just hit 30, 30, 30, go. That's it.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, a lot of wine.
That's true.
And we're both flabbergasted that you could just lock a microwave.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Wild. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
And that happened to me just a week ago.
Just a week ago. That's great. Have you tried it with Have you tried it with your microwave?
No.
You went home and
what if I accidentally lock it and I can't unlock it?
Just turn it off and on again.
What if that doesn't work next time? We lucked out.
Cool.
Can I play with your microwave after this?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll probably never be able to fluke locking a microwave again.
No, you probably won't. You try everything,
But
and it just won't work.
it happened. And then, because that was in Sydney, and then on the
Ew.
train on the way back,
You
I'm
locked the train.
sitting minding my own. I love trains.
I said you locked the train.
No. And that was also facetious as well. I fucking hate trains.
Do you really?
They stress me out. They make me nervous, and I hate it.
I don't mind it. I mean, obviously.
Well, you wait for this.
Okay.
I'm sitting in a single seat. I lucked out after standing like a can of sardines for fucking 4 stops or something. I sat down, and across the walkway from me, there was this couple, and he had his head on her shoulder, kissing her neck and ear, and had his whole hand up her top, full grabbing and
Oh my
squeezing
God.
tartar.
Was this like in the morning? And
No, this is in rush hour. I'm on the train at 3:00.
Jesus.
Rush hour. There's school kids up that end.
Oh my
There's
God.
old ladies there. It's a crowded train.
And he's just touching up his girlfriend.
Can you not just wait till you get home?
That's
Is it
gross.
that urgent?
I remember.
And then the person, the person in front of him could hear the wetness of him kissing and licking her neck, and looked around and pulled a disgusted face and looked at me, and I would just like shrug, like, I don't know, like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And then I try and like I weaponize dissociation, and I lean my head on the window. I put my headphones on so I can't hear the wetness as well.
Ew, so it wasn't even trying to be like quiet. It was like, oh God.
Very that. Leave it in.
I will.
And then I put my head against the window, and so you can see along the window rail, like a few seats ahead of you, probably 2 or 3 seats in front of me. There was this guy, and is going like this with his elbow, and then he goes like this, and then goes like this again, and goes like this. And I glance over the headrest of the seat in front of me, and I realize he's picking his fucking nose and wiping it on the windowsill.
Oh, what the
and he
fuck?
did it at least 3 times in the time I was watching him.
What disgusting
And
ass
at
train
that
were you
moment,
on?
I'm like, I fucking hate trains.
Gross. See, when I say I like trains, I don't mean that.
And then there was this woman with a fucking baby not old enough to walk, so it's crawling all over the floor. I'm like,
the
that's
fuck?
so grubby.
That's so unsanitary.
What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
So I remember when I was in high school, I used to catch 2 buses to and from school and back, obviously. And there was one day I was going back home, and it was a shit day, like really fucking awful day. And I looked over, and there was a couple, boy and a girl from another school, and this dude, same kind of thing, was like kissing her neck and shit, and had his fucking hand right up her dress, and was diddling her. And she was like trying to hold it in, had her eyes closed. I looked at them. I looked at the person kind of sitting diagonal from them. Was just like,
Dead eye contact? Did they look at you?
no. I looked at the person sitting like diagonal from them.
Oh,
But I
full
was
view.
Like they were like,
Can you not mix your clam chowder on the bus?
and I was just like, what the? And I said out loud, I was like, what the fuck? But they were like too into it. I don't know if they heard me or not. I didn't say
Some
anything.
people just like that though. It's like voyeurism.
Yeah, exhibitionism. Or
Exhibitionism.
whatever. Voyeurism. Yeah.
No, voyeurism is you like to watch.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this podcast confirms that we're not voyeuristic. Exhibitionist is when you like people to watch or the risk of being
Yeah, you go out in
caught.
public. But like a bus or a train, it's so gross.
Peak hour, there's children.
Yeah.
There are babies on this train.
Like, I don't know. If you want to be doing it in public, do it like even like a beach or a park is fucked up. But I don't know. I couldn't imagine doing it somewhere in public.
Ugh, ew, a lot of train chat.
The theater. No, I'm just kidding.
All the time. People do it all the
I
time.
know. And I don't know how. Like I remember when, I don't know if it's a thing anymore, but when I was growing up, a lot of people would do stuff in the back of the cinema.
Yeah. I went on a date with this guy one time and we're sitting in the back of the cinema and he like put his hand on my thigh and he like started traveling up. And I literally grabbed his hand so tightly and moved it to my knee, looked him dead in the face and said, And I click and I point at the camera above the screen that literally faces the crowd. I'm like, they're always watching you.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I never knew that. And I do this all the time. And I'm like, oh, A, don't do that. B, don't tell that to someone you're on a date with. I do this all the time.
This is my bang circle.
This is my bang spot. I come in and give guys gobbies in a fucking cinema. I hate men. Have I mentioned that? Yeah, I hate men. But yeah, no. Way back in the day, I remember I was on the train once and this woman kept trying to talk to me.
Oh.
I hate it. We're not enjoying ourselves. That's not a good time. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm deaf. And then I stood up, I moved 4 seats away and proceeded to put my earphones in and listen to music. And I realized after I got off the train why she sat there and just leered at me the rest of the trip. I'm like, oh, I'm the dick.
You're the
I'm
asshole.
the dickhead. But yeah, to that woman on the train, I wasn't interested in what you had to say. I'm so sorry.
And even
I don't care about your daughter Becky failing high jump.
Is that what it was?
Something like that.
Fuck yes. I hate when like you're on public transport and people talk to you and you obviously have like earphones in.
Yeah.
Like very obvious. I hate it. And like I don't want to talk to you or anybody. It's not just you.
Nah. What's worse is when they try and talk to you and you take your earbud out and you're like, sorry? And then they're like, oh, never mind. And then you put it back on and then they try and talk to you again.
Like, yeah, that's so dumb. I hate that.
Or like you're washing up and the tap's going and you're like, sorry. And you stop it and you're like, what? And they're like, oh, never mind. And then you start again and they talk to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That really fucking riles me up.
I hate that. I don't do well with background noise if there's background noise around.
But I think that's also a neurospicy thing. A lot of like neurotypical people don't have the problem of having to turn the thing off to understand what people are saying. That's just us.
Oh.
I think like
one sound at a time.
Like there's a certain type of sounds that I can have conversations over and things like that and be pretty okay. And I tend to read lips a lot if I'm actually in a conversation. That's why like a lot of the time you'll see me looking at people's faces because I'm looking at their lips.
She just really likes lips.
To try and figure out what's being said because my brain does not compute. And
it's
especially
wild.
if there's another noise.
Yeah, it's wild. Like,
I remember when a couple of weeks ago, I think it was not trivia. It wasn't Genesis. It was cards.
Yep.
Cards and it was the podcast, a live episode. And you two were playing music really loud and I was having a chat to Ronnie.
Yep.
Fuck. I don't know how I was able to carry that conversation with them because I could not hear them at all. And I heard like bits and pieces, like broken, like you know when you're on your phone and they go in a tunnel, someone's like, that's
but happening in real time.
Yeah, and I was like, I got to focus because I don't want to interrupt this conversation. It was good conversation, but yeah, I was just like,
it's wild when that happens.
Yeah,
like I was saying things. I'm like, I hope this matches exactly what you're saying because I have no idea.
Sometimes you just need to double down and just be like, yeah, but the flaw to that, and it's happened to me a few times. Someone's been talking to me and I'm like, I'm sorry, and they've repeated it for a third time and I've just had to be like, oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah, I do that
and they're
too.
like, my nan died. And I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry, I must have misheard you. That's happened at least 3 times.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Not specifically dead grandmas, but like
in
doubling
general.
down and being wrong.
it'd be wild if it was always a dead grandma.
I'd be so rich.
I've done the thing where it's like that, where it's like, what? Sorry, and then it's like the third time you can see it in their face. Like if I have to repeat this one more time,
I'm going to punch you in the face.
they say it again. I'm like, oh, fair, or something. I'll just say something
you
neutral.
just need to,
Move on. I'm not gonna get it. Let's just move on from the conversation. Bless you. Sorry, that was my dog sneezing.
And then it could be the opposite, where they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, sorry. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, sorry, I didn't get that. And then you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And they're like, I got a pay rise and getting a new job. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh.
Congrats.
Look, what do you want from me? I'm not actually that interested in what you're saying.
Although I love the ones where it's like, sorry, but then your brain catches up like
I was
a
just about to
second later.
mention that.
And you're like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
They're like,
they're halfway through repeating themselves. You're like, oh, no, never mind. I've caught up. That
That
happens.
happens to us all the time.
Oh, it happens so frequently.
So frequently. I hate it. My brain is just like, it's that loading screen. Like the
It
little
is the
buffering circle.
little loading circle. Yeah.
This conversation is buffering.
Buffering. That's exactly it. Right. Speaking on things that piss me off,
Oh dear Lord.
I said I would discuss something, and now we've babbled on a lot longer than I would have liked, but I don't care to talk about this much for much airtime.
okay.
Before I start talking, I'm well aware, I'm very self-aware of how fucking stupid the prospect sounds.
Okay.
But I need someone, and I don't think it's anyone in this room. I need someone
Wow, okay.
smart
Wow. You can go back into the
who
woods.
can pull me back onto the correct path. Because at this stage, I'm a very self-aware flat earther. And I don't like it. And I know that it's the wrong way of thinking. But
How do you get to the woods? Is it two left and a right?
two lefts and a right in that direction.
Can you please justify why the fuck you think
so
the Earth
listen,
is
no,
flat at the
firstly,
moment?
I do want to, and I do believe that the earth is round.
Okay.
First and foremost, I am a round earther,
Okay.
but
But you're seeing validity.
I am at the stage of balance. I'm getting more reasonable arguments and points made from not so much other people, but also my own brain, because I drink wine often and I think often and I have a very loud, opinionated brain. It raises questions that I myself can't answer, and that I'm not going to Google them because I'm not going
down
to
that
put
rabbit
that
hole?
on. I don't want a confirmation that the earth is flat. I just need someone on the right side of the debate to counterbalance
Okay.
my brain theories.
So what is this brain theory that has you so almost...
Brain theories. It's not just one. That's why it's so troubling. So, if the earth is flat, it gives me belief that dinosaurs are not extinct. Because dinosaurs live on the other side of the disc.
But wouldn't the other side just be like,
Rock.
well, no,
Because gravity
wouldn't
is-
the other side just be like the northern hemisphere?
Yes.
I'm sorry. How can gravity exist if there is no Earth core?
No, listen, bitch. Gravity is a downward force.
Towards the Earth's
So,
core.
if there's gravity at the north and the south, there's no east and west poles. It pushes it flat. So it is a disc.
So you're saying everything exists on the top of this disc?
Yes, that's our Earth. And then the other Earth is where dinosaurs
See, what
are.
you're explaining more than anything is alternate realities.
No, flat Earth.
I don't. No, I
not.
think you're explaining alternate realities where it's like this is our Earth, but then there's another Earth vibrating at
But
a
then
different.
there's only two Earths.
No, there's an infinite amount of Earths.
So we're a stack of CDs.
Yes.
There you go. So we're a cylinder, not a disc, which is that's a step in the right direction. It takes it away from being flat.
Sure, I guess. But the way
So we're thick flat. We have flat edges.
thick air,
Producer's doing some stuff.
I think we're
All right, producers on it.
okay. I think if the alternate reality theory is real, which I believe it is, there's an infinite number of Earths, right? But every Earth is vibrating at a different frequency to any other,
So
which is why we don't run into each other. But
that makes sense.
yeah,
But also, and dare I fucking say it out loud, this is what freaked me out about Mandela effects.
yeah.
Is that what's happening with these alternate realities? Yes.
I think every now and then
Every now and then I get a little bit lonely.
I think every now and then a reality slips through ours or we slip through theirs.
Yep.
And that's what Mandela effect is.
And
blah,
why
blah, blah.
people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, but on the other side of our flat disc is where the dinosaurs live. Because when a dinosaur dies, it sinks into the ground. And then we
Dig it up.
dig it up. So that means there's people being dug up by dinosaurs.
That'd be wild.
That's true. It's flat Earth. Look, and I haven't given it much merit, and I'm not taking myself seriously with this. So I'm not like, oh my God, the Earth is flat, and you can't tell me otherwise. I'm well aware. Like I said, I'm very self-aware flat earther. I know that I'm wrong.
Yeah. Like there probably is an alternate universe where there are dinosaurs.
But I do
digging
like
up
to
humans.
think now that we are a stack of discs.
stack of discs.
Not just one disc, a stack.
Just playing a different track.
I was at a place in town the other day, and I snapped a photo to show you in this moment with this discussion.
Okay.
If this Earth is our Earth and there's nothing suspicious about it, explain this to me.
It's wise.
There is
It's electric.
no
electrical
lizard
wires.
people confirmed. For reference,
Electrical wires.
it is a little sign that says main Earth below. We're not even on the main Earth. We're just the shit human Earth.
electrical wires.
We are on the shit people Earth where they charge $10 for a bucket of fucking chewing gum and then tell you that green is spearmint and blue is peppermint.
See, this is where it all started.
Yeah.
Really.
I had a lot of time to think in the woods.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm fucking wrong, Nery. Look me in the damn face. Tell me that I'm not making sense.
I mean, it could be right, but it's also electrical cables.
I'll tell you what 2020 was. 2020 was the entity that controls the universe getting our little pile of discs and just flinging them everywhere.
Probably.
That was 2020. That's why
true.
everything was so fucked up.
And nothing's ever been the same since.
Yeah. And then they're putting them all back in a pile, but some are upside down, some are scratched. They're not got the gaps. That's just disc
all-
on disc scissoring. And that pisses me off. All right, what have you found, producer? Let's debunk this right in this moment.
There is a very deep, fundamental reason why the Earth is round. The force of gravity depends upon the distance between two interacting objects, and the only three-dimensional object you can make with a single distance is a sphere.
Okay. And who says that?
We can measure the behavior of gravity in a laboratory
Laboratory.
with a variety of highly sensitive experiments. Each of these experiments shows that the force of gravity depends only on the mass of the two objects and the distance between them. If, on the other hand, you wanted to form a flattened object using gravity alone, the force of gravity would have to depend upon two perpendicular distances in two perpendicular directions.
Isn't that just the north and
That's
south
just a
pole?
lot of stupid words. And then we get to that, the North and the South Pole. You said at our live show that they're about to swap.
Yes.
Make that make sense.
Well, because the Earth is tilting.
And because magnets.
Okay. Well, listen, you weren't there for that,
I
but
was
we
not.
had a discussion about magnets and their legitimacy in this planet. So I take you to my
Magnets
next
are
point.
fake.
I take you to
Fake
my
news.
next point. I fucking hate myself sometimes.
What happened?
So there are 365 days, 6 hours, and 9 minutes in a year.
Sure.
That's a fact.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Sure, that's the
yes.
fact that the Earth being round is a theory at
Oh,
this
yeah.
point.
Have you seen the round Earth?
But time is
With your
also
own fucking
a
eyeballs?
human construct.
Yes.
Listen, Linda, we'll get there.
Sorry, continue.
The Earth spins, and it takes that long for the Earth to rotate the sun.
Mm-hmm.
My question. Look, I don't want to debate it. I just want someone to answer my fucking question so I can be like, yeah, that makes sense. How come every day of the year we can see the same constellations if we're rotating the sun? How does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
And they're always in the same spot. The North Star, the Southern Cross, we can see them all year round. See, I can see that producer brain ticking. I can see that Nery brain ticking, I think.
Because the way I understand, like, I've seen an explanation of how, like, it's slightly different, but how, you know, how...
Are the constellations in our bubble?
They're in our galaxy, yes.
Is the sun in our galaxy, or are we in it?
Well,
the Milky Way is the galaxy.
System. We are the Milky Way galaxy. We are part of the solar system. There are other suns. There are other galaxies. I love Milky Way chocolates too, man. Oh, stop it. But I was watching a video that a person was trying to explain, because some dumb American lady was
I'm scared that I'm infected with Americanitis.
But this woman was like talking about like, if it's summer here.
Oh,
like,
that fucking video.
Is it like, how is it winter there? And blah, 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 like trying to figure out the seasons. And this guy was explaining how like the hemispheres work and how like the rotation around the sun and the rotation of the earth makes it, because we're on an angle, makes it so that southern hemisphere sees the sun at a different angle at different times, which is how we have different seasons at different times, because the sun is stationary and we're moving around it
at different angles.
Okay.
Hence the seasons are different.
Okay. So that being said, different, and not an argument about it, but also I had a discussion with someone the other day and they're like, oh, did you know that there's parts of the world like Antarctica or whatever that the sun doesn't set for 6 months of the year?
I think Denmark.
That freaks me out. Why?
Because of the way they are positioned on the earth.
Goes down, they get half a sunset, and then it just bounces back up.
Yeah.
Because it's bouncing off the flat earth.
It's not bouncing off the flat fucking earth.
Okay, I'm changing it. We're not a disc, we're a ping pong paddle.
If anything, that is proof as to why the earth is spherical. Because there is a point of the earth that doesn't hit the sun in the right way and either stays sunny more or dark.
You're going to love this. Your point, there's no point because you're saying the earth is round.
Yes.
Round doesn't have a point.
No, it's not a point. No, not a point like a point. I mean a point as in like as in a section.
As in a wrong opinion.
There is a section of the earth that is night for longer, day for longer, like for literally months.
But
right?
why?
Because it is positioned at the wrong part of I wouldn't say the wrong part, but it's positioned at the wrong part of the globe.
I wouldn't say the wrong part, but it's positioned
because I can't think of another word.
In that certain part
of the globe for that time of year to be able to actually change. Like it's just always in the light no matter what way it's going. You know what I mean?
No. That's why I asked the question. See, I knew that bringing this discussion to the podcast would cause fights.
It proves that it is a globe.
After tapping out last week, I'm like, I want to make these motherfuckers fight.
Fucking tap out.
fucking producers gonna go to the woods.
It's round. It is round. The earth is round. I'm sorry, but we look at the other planets. They're round.
From our perspective, what if it's just
round?
On its side? It's a disc as well, and we're looking at a disc. You look at the disc from front on, it's round. You look at it on the side, it's flat.
Not spherical.
Yeah, but like magic.
You look at it.
Have you ever seen the Earth from
it's called
space?
Depth perception.
I don't have that. Have you ever seen the Earth from space?
No.
Satellite
with your own eyeballs.
I've never been to space
I'm not
yet.
a fucking astronaut.
Then, until I talk to an astronaut.
Have you ever seen it flat with your own eyes? Not on an image?
No, but I've seen flat things. Oh, and balls exist, I suppose. See, that's what I mean. I don't believe myself, but I need someone to make a better argument than the Earth having points.
Maybe we should try to get an astronaut.
Why do the constellations never move? Let's Google that.
Maybe we should try to get an astronaut or like someone that's smart.
If you're an astronaut and listen, please reach out to us.
That'd be great.
The constellations appear to stay in the same place because they are actually very far away and are constantly moving, but their movement is too small to detect with the naked eye. And there's another point of orbiting the Milky Way. Most stars in the night sky are part of the Milky Way galaxy, our galaxy.
So it's slurping around the sun with us.
And they are all orbiting the galaxy's center. However, they don't orbit at the same speed or trajectory as our solar system. So the changes in their positions are too slow to notice over one lifetime.
Fuck, I love having a producer. I just need to call you at random times when I have these thoughts and be like, producerify this thought I've had.
You got my number?
See, listen.
I don't sleep.
As I started, I'm very aware that the earth isn't flat. But I know that just all of this discussion is just going to fucking rile people up.
Oh, yeah.
But also, are my questions not valid?
No, they are.
Exactly.
Look, and at the end of the day, science is about questioning what is available.
That's
what
true.
What information
And plus,
is available.
I don't
and
know.
Looking further into it.
Yeah, I don't know any scientists. So
me
therefore, look, it's like, oh,
Cheetah Man.
Cheetah Man has 8 arms. And I'm like, oh, cool. That's a cool picture. There's so much AI happening now that I don't even know what is real. And it's starting to really bother me. I can't wait for this year to end because I'm just going to like hop off social media for a while.
I got rid of
I'm so
Facebook
done.
the other day.
Yeah.
I just got to start getting rid of the rest. The problem is we need to promote this and your stuff, and we need something, unfortunately. But not Facebook.
I had a thought and now it's gone.
Bam. And the thought is gone.
I lost my thought. Because you
It
mentioned
flew
the
off the
Cheeto
disc.
Man and it disappeared.
8 arms.
I don't know. But, like, look, I'm a very big believer in science. Like,
Do you believe that dinosaurs existed?
Yes.
No, that's never mind. That's the other argument.
even as a like a more spiritual person, I believe in science and things that can be proven with science through experimentation. So, look, if one day someone were to somehow be able to prove that the earth is flat, I would accept it. But I'm telling you it's not, because we've already been on the opposite side of that. Everyone thought it was flat. Everyone believed it was flat. Science proved them wrong.
What if we're a dome?
I don't think so. What if we're a giant disc on the
I'll
back
tell you
of a
what-
turtle?
All right. So we've discussed flat earth. We've discussed round earth. We've discussed earth with points.
And
No, we haven't.
and the cylinder
And the cylinder disc pile of
alternate
Earth.
universes.
alternate universes. We are just DVD discs. But
And most of us are porn.
I like to think
most of us are born.
I like to think we're laser discs. Big and pointless.
Oh.
Laser discs came around the same time as VHS.
Oh.
But they were huge.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember. So here's the thing in high school that really fucked me up. And that only just popped back in my head when we've talked about the different states of the globe. What the fuck is this?
I
Have a look.
don't know.
It's
The world map that we have, that we see, is wrong anyway.
So I can tell you what that is because I've learned that.
okay. Please.
So what that is latitude and longitude signs, but because the world is a globe and not flat, they can't. They're all different. Like, so they're different lengths. Especially the longitude ones. And so to be able to, so if you're traveling, if you're on a ship and you need to calculate that stuff, they need to make it as kind of comprehensive as possible
That's comprehensive.
For navigation.
for navigation.
Listen, I'll tell you what, I think that this has just made it worse because now I'm starting to feel like the earth isn't flat or round. I feel like it's a shredded ribbon because that's a mess.
That's how it feels sometimes.
I don't understand how that makes sense. I'm going to use that for our tile. I'm going to put that on it and be like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, fair.
I'll take it to the social medias. I'll be like, explain that.
Yeah, go for it.
Because why not just, if it's round, why not just flatten it and cut it in half and make it a cylinder and make that the map like we have?
Because you can't make a sphere flat. Like, in school.
You should see me sit on a basketball.
Yeah, but then that becomes a double-sided disc. It's not flat. You can't butterfly it and make it perfectly flat, not like you can a cube or a pyramid. You know what I mean? Like, this is basic, like, primary school shit.
I see what you're
You
saying.
can't unfold it
So
as
the
a flat
earth
piece
is
of
a
paper.
two-sided disc.
No! Oh, my fucking God.
It's a special edition.
I
Lord of the
win.
Rings.
Yeah, I get it. It makes sense. Like those old school
You
games.
can't open it and make it flat. It is round. if you're in school and you've got a piece of paper, you can make a cube. You can make a rectangular prism. You can make a pyramid. You can make a cone. You can make a fucking cylinder.
I know a lot of people that made cones with paper.
You cannot make a fucking sphere.
Okay. So if we talk about the center of gravity and if we hold on to my idea that the Earth is indeed flat, there's no core like a ball would have, but there's a hole in the center of the Earth.
So we're a CD.
We're a donut.
We are a CD or a donut, but flatter.
Fuck off. The world is a fleshlight.
The world is a flashlight. But
That makes more sense.
center is empty, and that is the Bermuda Triangle, where
No.
everything stops working.
No.
That's the center of the Earth.
It's in the water.
I win.
Fucking hell.
I win Earth.
Can somebody please call the aliens in the ocean and get them to please take me away? I don't want to fucking play this game anymore.
See, I don't know
Somebody
at what
switch off the
point.
servers in the Matrix. I'm done.
I don't know what point through this discussion I went from genuinely wanting to be helped off the shit
ledge,
barge
yeah.
to just
Fucking with
pissing
me.
you both off.
I'm not pissed off. I find it
I am
hilarious.
flapped. My
I-
nuggets are ground.
Good. I'm glad that.
I think so. I know what I believe in, and whether it's true or
What
not.
do you believe in?
Nothing and everything all at once. No, I believe that the Earth is round, but I also believe that other people can believe whatever they want and be wrong.
But I don't want to believe that the Earth is flat. I just need
Then
someone
just
to convince
don't.
me. I can't just do that. I need someone to
can just
proper
do
be
that.
like, Lucy, listen. This is why the Earth is round, and this is what makes sense. And the
I need to
worst
do
part
some homework and
is
make
that
a fucking PowerPoint presentation.
You
for
do.
this bitch.
And the worst part is I know that the explanation could be the stupidest thing and be like, oh,
My sister's a science teacher.
we're not a disc. We're actually
right now.
just a disco ball floating in a nightclub. I'll be like, that makes
Is she
perfect
still in
sense.
Fiji? She might still be in Fiji. I'm gonna get my sister to explain it. She's a fucking science
She
teacher.
can come on the. She can come on the podcast.
She can come on the podcast.
Oh my God. Me and your sister are probably going to throw hands.
Yeah, probably. She's intense.
Cool. Well, I think I've made my point.
I think we need to bring somebody else on though, like a
We
science
need a
teacher or
professional.
I still think we should try to find. I don't know how,
Astrologist.
like that or an astronaut or
scientist.
something.
All right. So, Nery, enough of my shenanigans and shit show.
Yeah,
What
flap
facts do you...
Lucy.
It's your turn. Time to flap me. What facts do you have?
So I tried to have it Earth centered
Oh, really?
somehow.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Did you... What?
What?
How did you know we were talking about Earth?
Yeah, I've been in the woods.
I have a sixth sense.
Yeah, 6 cents.
5
That's
cents.
also flat. Our brains, discs,
Flat.
just hard drives in our
Smooth
mouths.
brains. No ridges or lumps.
Valleys or bumps.
All
All right, go.
So fact number 1: the moon is drifting away from Earth at about at about 4 centimeters per year. It will be noticeable in about a million years, but
4
only
centimeters is noticeable now.
Not from where we
not from where we are.
Oh, that's true.
But
In the grand scheme.
But the only way it would be noticeable in a million years is from people from like today, because we would know the distance from today, and they would know the distance from now. But then, in a million years, it would just look normal. It's because of the tides and all the shit.
Isn't the moon what causes the tides?
Yeah, so
That's what I thought.
so
And that's why humans are crazy, because we're made up of so much water. We're just like walking bags of soup.
Ugh.
ugh.
A meat straw surrounded by soup.
I'm so
But we
not
can't
into
drink
that.
our own soup. We're just a straw beside a bowl.
Can you not? I don't want to drink my soup.
I drink another person's soup.
No.
Anyway,
Cannibalism.
so it
Lucy says yes.
so it's caused by the moon pulling on Earth's oceans, creating tidal forces that produce a bulge of water.
Yeah, that's
Watch
the
it.
tides.
You have said so many things that can be turned into innuendos.
On the
Don't.
side of the Earth facing the moon. So yeah, that's how it's been happening. And yeah, obviously the moon helps with the tides. I remember watching It's not Evan Almighty. What was it? Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
And he
pulls
lassos the moon. And then it goes on
Fucks
the
with
news
everything.
and like there's floods and shit everywhere.
Jesus.
Have you never seen
No.
Bruce Almighty?
Is that Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the picture. Is
It
that where
was
he's like
good.
Noah?
Yeah.
So you're thinking of Evan Almighty, which is the sequel.
That's with Steve.
Oh.
Steve.
With Steve Carell.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
But Bruce Almighty is the first
seen
original
the-
film.
DVD in the video shop.
We should watch both of them back to back.
Mm.
I've never done that. I've seen both films.
Are they
independently.
connected?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, vaguely, because
Fair.
Evan is a character in the first movie.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
Bruce ruined his life.
Yeah, he
Ah.
fucks him up. But to be
Alright.
fair, he was a prick.
Chuck it on the list. Let's do it back to back.
Let's do it.
All right, Nery.
All right.
Facto number 20.
Okay, fact number 2. Coral reefs are the Earth's largest living structure. They're an obviously an underwater ecosystem made up of colonies of tiny animals called coral polyps. Coral reefs are incredibly diverse and play a vital role in the ocean ecosystem, and because they are like a large, like they kind of habitat as one thing, that makes them, like I said,
So it's like a
living
hive
structure.
mind?
yeah, it's kind of like a hive mind. Yeah, but like so so that makes them the world's living structure because they just go. But also at the same time, they are dying rapidly.
So, gross question. What are polyps in humans?
Like
Coral reef.
hemorrhoids.
Why is it the same word?
Polyps are like little growths.
They're like little growths,
Yeah.
yeah, which I think is what.
That's what
But is that the same
Yes.
fucking creature?
the Earth is
Well, no,
having.
it's a coral
polyps.
polyp.
We're mostly water.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
You can get out of my house.
Hey, my house too.
But the
bitch.
flat earther can stay. Ew.
don't know.
So we are a straw attached to a bowl of soup with polyps growing
Coral
inside it.
of us.
You ever watch Pirates?
We are just little earths.
Have you ever
The
watched,
earth is not flat. The earth is not round. The earth is human shaped.
have you ever watched the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
Mm-hmm.
You know when Will Turner's dad comes up and like they're all like Davy Jones folk.
Oh,
That's
he's
what we're
got,
turning.
like, the stuff stuck to his face.
Yeah, that's
and
what we're
shit.
turning into
Oh god.
Ew. I'm allergic
From-
to seafood.
from the
It's-
inside
Oh,
out.
I mean, if you're already dead.
Oh, good riddance. I think
Everyone on
that's
that
the
ship
only
was already
solution
dead.
for this whole fiasco
Let's
happening.
just all fucking check out. Davy Jones, come pick us up.
Into the woods.
Okay.
I want to be a pirate.
All right.
I don't know if I want to be a
Arr.
pirate in the Davy Jones locker though. That shit-
Ah,
It'd be so stinky.
yes, it would be
It's like when the
stinky,
tide
baby.
goes out. You'd smell like that all the time.
Oh, like when it goes out, when all the algae comes in
Yeah.
in Incendio. Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah, you'd smell like that
Anyway,
all
what's
the
your
time.
next fact?
Last fact.
My last one is Australia is actually wider than the moon. So, the moon sits at 3,400 kilometers in diameter, while Australia's diameter from east to west is almost 4,000.
I have heard that fact before, and I have asked the question at trivia before, so I feel like I've been an enabler. But it pisses me off, and this is why. Because of everything we've been discussing.
But like
What is wider?
the drink bottle, like from this angle, the phone. But that's from this.
What angle are we measuring Australia from?
That is perception.
From east to west.
So you're percepting that the Earth is round.
So there's also a thing.
Perceptinephany.
For fuck's sake.
There's also a thing. So the moon as a sphere has more surface area than Australia, but in diameter wise,
So just length.
yeah.
Like if you were looking at it.
It's like when a guy is like, I'm 6 inches, and you're like, from what angle?
But like, it makes sense that the moon is
you're
smaller.
so tired.
All planets that have moons, the moons are smaller than the planets. It makes sense.
Yeah, but we're a country in a planet.
Yes.
We're not the planet.
But as I was saying earlier when we were talking
We're not
about
America.
maps,
Life does not revolve around
the
us.
maps are wrong too. On every map, America looks bigger than Australia, but it's fucking not. Why are you putting your hand up? Your mic's always
Because
on.
I'm. That's true. I think I need to cut my knowledge down. I'm going to cut everything outside the bubble of gravity of Earth, if it's round. out. The galaxy does not need to exist to me. I don't need to think about being a basketball floating in the pool because I forget the point I was even going to make. Because what if each country is a planet in the galaxy
no.
that is Earth?
No.
So, who told you Australia is bigger than America?
Like everything I've ever seen.
According to Google.
No. On the map, it looks bigger, but Australia is actually.
Yeah,
Oh.
America is like this
Yeah.
big.
Well, that's because they got a. That's because you don't think
got
Russia's
all the states.
this big. Russia is huge,
I know.
so they're gonna make things.
Yeah, but they make
To scale.
they make Australia look small in comparison to America, but it's not.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
on
sure you can
maps,
fit Texas
Australia
in
looks
Australia.
like that. So I believe the producer has a write-in.
Yes, I have a write-in. Somebody sent it to me specifically. Let me bring it up. Okay, so this is someone who is a regular listener,
Okay.
long-time fan,
First time caller.
first-time caller, who especially resonated with the episodes that we were talking about the creepy man in the night.
Yeah,
and like
iconic.
the street time.
The street time of
Stuff.
dark lurkers.
So the shooketh times. So we're gonna call this person Street Shook. Let's call it
Street
that.
shook.
Okay.
Okay.
So I am a woman in my 30s, and something happened to me the other night that still has me shooketh.
Okay.
It was late, and I was driving home through a part of my town that's a bit dodgy. It didn't help that the streetlights weren't all working at the time.
Sounds dodgy to me.
It does. As I was driving, I saw something in the middle of my lane up ahead.
Ew.
At first, I wasn't sure what I was looking at, but did the responsible thing and started to slow down. As I got closer, I realized it was a man. He was waving his arms and trying to flag me down. He was dressed in dark clothes, so that made him even harder to spot in the poor lighting.
Oh my god.
I had no choice but to slow right down to a near stop. It was lucky I didn't have another car behind me. He started moving toward my driver's side door, and I started to panic.
Oh
Yeah,
my
for
god.
sure.
Floor it.
There was no car parked nearby, which meant he couldn't have broken down. And there was no one else around. It didn't seem like he was in any kind of real trouble, other than the fact that he was standing in the middle of the road in the dark, which made him a huge hazard.
Oh my gosh.
I waved my hand and shook my head, trying to be polite, and mouthed, "Sorry, no." He kept coming towards the door and looked like he was going to reach out and open my door. I was freaking out. In that moment, I just knew there was no way I could let him in. No sane person would, right?
Right?
But I was also terrified. I had no idea what he was planning, but nothing good could come of this. When I was finally sure that there was enough space for me to get around him without hitting him, I sped up, trying to get away as fast as I could.
Good idea.
Listener. They should have run him over. Continue.
I saw him get angry, yelling something, and then I noticed him reach into his pocket. He threw something at my car, and I heard it hit. My heart was in my throat, but I couldn't even think about what damage could have been caused at that moment. I just wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. When I finally made it home, my mind cleared a little bit. I was still shaken, but I felt like I had to report what had happened. The road had a 60km/h speed limit. But with the poor visibility, I was seriously concerned about someone not being able to slow down in time if he tried this again. So I called the local police. I wasn't sure whether this guy was in some sort of danger or trouble and needed help. But at the same time, I was very aware that I just narrowly avoided a dangerous situation. Either he was going to get hit by a car, or he might try to hurt someone who stopped to help him. If there had been a car behind me, it could have been a very different story.
Oh my god.
When I spoke to the officer, though, they were incredibly dismissive. I was too shaken to argue at the time, but looking back, I should have called them out. They suggested that the guy was just messing with me and made jokes when I tried to
ridiculous.
give them a description of him. Honestly, it felt like they didn't take me seriously at all. In the end, they said that they'd send someone to check it out, but I am not convinced anything was done. I checked my car the next day and found a puncture in the boot. Looks like the object he threw might have been a knife. I know I did everything I could in that moment, but it still doesn't feel like it was enough. And now I can't bring myself to drive at night anymore. Something about that experience has rattled me to my core. I don't know who the dumb bitch is in this story, but one thing's for sure. There was definitely someone out there with dangerous intentions, and I'm just thankful I made it out of that situation in one piece.
Yeah, fuck.
Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah. This person, so I obviously asked follow-up questions.
Yeah.
So if you do have any questions, let me know and I'll answer them if I know them.
Yeah. Wow. Firstly, pat on the back for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Or what the fuck. Second, I think the dumb bitch, because the whole point is to allocate a dumb bitch, I think the dumb bitch is the fucking police.
I was going to say that.
I do too.
That officer, for sure.
So follow-up questions had been asked and I was like, so what kind of jokes are you talking about here? So what had happened was they had said, she had said, 30-something-year-old woman, she had said, like gone through a description of the man. Like she was like, oh, he was male, he was wearing dark clothes, he was white. And the officer interrupted at that point and said, well, I wouldn't be surprised since you were driving towards him.
What does he mean by that?
Like, you'd be white too if someone was driving towards you. He was in the middle of the fucking road.
So does he think they mounted the fucking curb and went after him?
It's not like the person drove onto a fucking sidewalk where a person was standing. No, this person was in the middle of the lane.
That's ridiculous.
Not the middle of the
But
road where the lines are, the middle of the fucking lane.
Okay, if that ride-in had of hit him with their car,
They'd be in trouble.
they would be in prison.
For sure.
And
100%.
as they mentioned, if there was a car behind them, it was a dark road, the speed limit was 60. If they had slowed down suddenly like they had to do, that person would have been rear-ended, and that person that was in the middle of the road probably would have gotten run over by that collision.
Sounds like they deserve
Like,
it.
it's a dangerous situation regardless.
But just to not be taken seriously by police, that's really, really stupid.
And the fact that this person reached for the driver's side door,
Yeah.
not for the back seat.
I've played Grand Theft Auto.
That
I know
was-
how that could have went.
And that puncture hole. Like, they sent me a photo of the puncture hole.
Yeah.
And I agree. I can't think of anything it could have been but a knife.
That's so fucked up. Or even like a screwdriver or something.
What else?
People
Or a
get
screwdriver.
fucking
Like, what else could have
initiative,
made
but
that
like
puncture?
wild. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ryder. I think producer, you should read our stories from now on. And I think you read that real good.
Thank you. Thank you, Shooketh Street.
Thank you,
you.
Shooketh Street. Jesus Christ. But no,
That's
you're
crazy.
not the dumb bitch. The dumb
The
bitch
police
wasn't on
officer
the
is.
road either. The dumb bitch is the police
I think the
officer.
person on the road was also a dumb bitch.
No,
I
the
think
person on the
that's
road's
just
a maniac.
psycho.
Fucking maniac. True. But the police officer.
I wonder if it's the same one that we... This guy's just
Imagine.
walking up and down streets.
He's like, I heard a podcast where these two people talked about how terrified for their life they were. I'm
gonna make
going to
someone
start
actually
targeting their listeners. They're going to go to their followers and find them. No, there's not a dumb bitch.
We do not have a dumb bitch stalker. Do not stress. Please
we don't
keep
even have, we
listening.
don't have a dumb bitch director either. No one knows who you are.
Well, on that note, if you've made it this far through all of the shenanigans and fuckery that I've brought forward after coming out of the woods after weeks and weeks and weeks of stupidity,
Stupidity.
it has been me, Lucy-Furr, the producer, and Nery. Woo, thank
Featuring
you.
Toast and Chorizo being assholes.
Yeah. Goodbye.